Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I do want to thank you guys because I've been receiving a ton of comments on different videos, and you guys have just been really nice and have been meeting me with grace and have really kind words, and it's just been really nice to read a lot of the comments and to comment back. So this week I actually have two videos coming out to you guys. Finally, they're both sit down videos. I do have a vlog planned and coming out for next week, but I'm really excited about this video because recently I just turned 25. So to any other of my Cancer babies out there, it is our season, it is our time. And I just turned 25 on the 9th of this month. I just wanted to really challenge myself. So I feel like 25 is the age where everybody gets to, and we all expect our lives to be perfect and just in this certain spot. And a lot of times it's just not, right? A lot of us were in school, we're figuring a lot of things out. Also, ignore my hair being crazy. Every time I do a pineapple, I swear it just doesn't come out cute. Another point. So I actually really wanted to speak on this. I actually did have this video planned, so I was excited to finally do it. And I wanted to be 25 when I did it, as cliche and as probably lame as that sounds. I wanted to actually be 25 so I can get all the feels, like get all up in there. So I'm excited because also really quickly, I got a sewing machine as one of my gifts, and that was like the cherry on top. Was not expecting that. I only mentioned it one other time before. I actually do know how to sew, and I learned how to sew back in high school. And so I've been kind of I mentioned it a while back that oh, I really want to kind of maybe get into that again. And then my boyfriend actually remembered, and I guess it was just something that stuck with him, and so that's what he got me as one of my gifts. So I'm really excited about that. I actually made this scrunchie that I have on. I'm gonna get some videos, some sewing videos out pretty soon once I get more familiar and get a little bit better at sewing, because it has been such a long time and I'm kind of reteaching myself and watching a lot of YouTube videos. I just really wanted to come and talk to you guys and just be honest and pretty open with how I'm feeling and kind of just some things to think about. And if you are not 25 and you're watching this video, hopefully anything that I say can help you to progress or maybe give you some ideas on how you want to better yourself. The first thing I want to start off with is that when I was 24, after my birthday, I just kind of made it a point to myself that I'm no longer going to take BS, pretty much. I felt I'm getting too old for any kind of drama games. And not that anything extensive had to happen for me to come up with that mindset, but I just kind of was at the point of that. I don't need to be in anybody's life where I am not serving them and they're not serving me. A lot of things kind of started happening, and there was a huge change of events, and just a lot of things went on. And that was great. That was a great stepping stone for myself, because if anybody ever knew me personally, in my past life, I like to say, when I was in my first set of my 20s, I was such a people pleaser. I wanted everybody to be happy. I wanted everyone to get along. I wasn't the greatest with conflict, but I met it head on in a lot of different situations. And those are not stories that I'm ever going to talk about or tell, because I don't really want to put anybody else's business out there. And quite frankly, I don't really want this channel to be about drama and just a drama channel. That's just not me. That's not for me. And then over the years, I became more and more just headstrong and very confrontational, and just again, not taking that BS. If nobody's servicing me, there's no reason for me to get out of character, for one, act out, and there's no reason that somebody should bring out this crazy side of myself that I just really struggled with. However, when I was turning 25, my birth week, I really have been struggling a lot with my mental health the last 2 months, since May actually. And I knew it was going to come to a point where I was going to crash and burn a little bit, but I didn't expect it to be really on my birthday week. And I also feel what enhanced it was just being on my period and PMSing, and I was just feeling so disappointed. I just felt so disappointed, and I was I'm turning 25, and I don't know, disappointment. Now, in my work life, in my, professional life, my life is going great. I am in a great position, doing a lot better than a lot of people that I know who are my age. I'm really on my shit. I really worked hard to be where I'm at. I'm really pushing to be exactly who I want to be in a professional aspect, educated. That is what I wanted to be. So in that aspect, everything was going great. My disappointment came from the fact that even though I was creating all these boundaries and doing all this stuff to enhance my life, and in a year a lot has changed. Like I said before, I have great friends now. I have an amazing support system, but I was just disappointed because I am just sick and tired of going through these mental spouts where I am just so depressed. I looked at it like, why am I still doing this to myself? Like, why am I still like, am I really trying? Am I really doing everything that I said that I'm going to do to be the successful person emotionally, mentally, and physically? And I feel like I'm just not. I feel like, let's be honest, I haven't really committed to a lot of things. Like, I did therapy for 2.5 years, stopped back in 2019. And then it's been a year since I've done that. Shown a huge difference of me not going because, you know, there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot of baggage and things that I went through and a lot of trauma and just like stuff that I have to get out there. Even with the gym, I was going to the gym and I was doing all this stuff, and then I realized like gained a little bit of weight. Now obviously everybody's like, you look great, I wish I had your body. That's nice and all, but there's, you know, we all have expectations for ourselves and we all know our bodies better than anybody else out there, right? And I just was like, you know what, I'm 25, it's the second half of my 20s before I hit 30, and I'm writing a book and I'm doing all these certifications to be like this motivational person, this motivational, you know, working woman who has side businesses, who's in a successful relationship. But what am I going to show for that if I can't even get what's up here to work? You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking a whole other approach. I am a religious person. I am Christian. For anybody that didn't know that, just throwing that out there. But I also really want to get into just healing, like healing in a different way to where I can also forgive myself. I feel like I've done a lot of healing to the outside world and to my past traumas, but I've been so hard on myself emotionally and mentally that it's just not fair. And I'm at the point now, I'm kind of just sick of it. Like, I'm just tired of feeling that way. I'm tired of feeling like I just can't get my life together, like in my head. I don't know, like I'm tired of feeling this way. So with that being said, I have been really getting back into a lot of healthy habits that I used to partake in when I was ending my last few years of college, and I saw a huge shift in myself. But I feel like there's just a lot more work that needs to be done, and I just really want to challenge myself. First and foremost, I used to journal all the time. My boyfriend, we were high school sweethearts, and when we were 17, my Valentine's Day gift was actually this beautiful journal. It was a purple journal, my favorite color, leather. It was a beautiful journal, and I wrote that till the end. That took 5 years to fill up. After that, I stopped writing. Don't know why, I just stopped. So now I'm actually getting back into journaling, and I do have a journal that I started writing in last year when quarantine started, because I was like, oh, I want to get back into journaling, but I never actually like continued that. And now I'm like, no, you need to get back into that, because I feel like journaling really helped me get my thoughts out. Even if I felt like I was having a mental breakdown or I was going completely insane, I could go back, revisit, and see, okay, what was really bothering me? Am I being dramatic? What can I address from this? That is like, it's just a way for me to clear my thoughts and just to get things together. Another thing is I'm going to go back to the gym. I have a lot of energy. I'm a very high energy person. Working out will help me get out a lot of energy. I feel like a lot of my rage and like anger that I hold inside of me definitely comes out when I work out. We're going to go back into our hobbies. So outside of writing and being a creative like writer and a creative person in that sense, even though a lot of it is private because I'm still a very shy person when it comes to the things that I write, I want to get into tennis. I used to play tennis back in high school, and I also dance, but I just feel like dance life is just like all the problems that caused me with body dysmorphia and just drama, and my experience with it. Loved it in the meantime, but just there was too much that went on. I don't think I'll ever go back to dance per se. Yoga, yes. Dance, not so much. But tennis, I was actually really good at it. Like, it was something weird, like I was good at it. Living in Austin, everybody saw outdoorsy, and there's tennis courts kind of everywhere. Like, you can go to a park and there's a tennis court there, and I actually have a racket. I still know how to serve. Like, I can still do a lot of that stuff. So I want to get back into playing tennis just for fun. Like, if I can find friends, or even with my boyfriend, we always talk about how we're gonna go, and we never freaking go play. And I really want to teach him because he kind of wants to learn how to play. And then of course with my sewing machine, that's another hobby that I can get into, which I've actually been really like zoning into that and practicing a lot of stuff and watching YouTube videos on that as well. So hobbies, like I'm just trying to get back into hobbies and just doing things that just make me happy. And I like being able to physically touch and move my body and to do things and to learn. I feel like that's gonna aid a lot in going through like any kind of spells that I'm having, or when I'm feeling down. Like I don't know, I just feel like it just gives me something else to do. Okay, my life works very, very well when I'm on a schedule, when there's a routine, when there's something that I can follow, when there's something for me to do. When there's not anything for me to do and there's a lot of that open, airy space, that's where I can do a lot of self-harm, self-damage, and a lot of my self-sabotage can also come from that. So I really want to be just cognizant of that and just really just, I don't know, back to therapy. I loved when I was going to therapy. I took it like full throttle. I was not afraid when I went to therapy. I know people can be a little bit timid and afraid, and it is scary because, you know, it's a stranger that's hearing about your life and you're confiding in them with all of these crazy things, and you're telling them like your deepest, darkest secrets that even the people that are close to you probably aren't going to know. And that's fine. That is fine for you to do that. That's fine for you to go in there and to give that to your therapist. So I'm personally really excited to go back. I was going to therapy twice a week, like I said, for 2.5 years. And I was doing regular CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. And then I was also doing EMDR. Don't know how to say the long word to that. But it's where you follow the light and you process memories to process traumatic memories to progress with, you know, certain traumas and triggers that you're dealing with. So those 4 things alone, I'm just really going to challenge myself this year to really push into that and to just go back to being how I was when I was a kid, where I was so loving and just, I always had something to do, and I was always doing little creative things and doing like stuff that just I like to do. Now, obviously we're adults, life changes, the reality of the world hits us, but I feel like that we should still hold on to some of those things that made us who we are through our adolescence and into our adult lives. And I feel like when I get a lot of advice from people who are older, 50s, 60s and up, usually it's stuff like that. Like they're like, you know, hold on to the things that you love to do. And I also really want to be a better partner to my boyfriend and be more present in our relationship and figure out how to communicate better versus going on tangents and literally throwing adult tantrums. Again, being super honest here. If you judge me, you judge me, whatever. But really just being super present with myself and taking care of myself. I do not take care of myself in the way that I should. I do self-care, like I have my self-care days, but am I really taking care of myself? Like, let's not let social media, you know, fool us into thinking that a self-care day means that we're taking care of ourselves. Are we eating 2 to 3 times a day? Are we drinking water? Are we taking care of our mental health? Are we taking time for us? On my birthday or my birthday week, I just decided, you know what, I don't even have the energy to entertain a big group of people. I originally wanted to have a dinner party with 20 people, and I was planning to get that set up, and then I kind of just felt overwhelmed, and I was like, honestly, I don't have the energy to give the proper attention or the mental capacity to give everyone who's going to show up to this dinner my full self. And I don't think that's fair. If you're taking your time out of your day to come to a dinner for me, don't you think that I should be present, like mentally, physically, emotionally? Like I should be there. Like you're here for me. Like why wouldn't I be? So I canceled all of that, and honestly, my birthday was great. Okay, first of all, I was alone on my birthday. My boyfriend had to work. He's an engineer, so on construction company time. And usually I do work on my birthdays. I've never really had a birthday off. I've always worked. The only reason I had last year off was because it was quarantine. So this year I was like, I'm gonna take the day off and I'm just gonna do what I wanna do. I cleaned this apartment top to bottom, which I'm like really OCD about stuff, and I obsess and like have manic episodes where I like clean like a psychopath. And when I do that, usually I don't pull out my hair as much because I'm so consumed with but I cleaned, I made myself breakfast, I drank coffee. I was just having a moment. I stayed in bed. Like, it was so nice. Okay, I had a great day. Then that night, my best friend actually planned a very small dinner, and it was me, her, and my other friends, and we went to this pizza place like in downtown, and it was so cool. Like, she had a cake for me, and then they had sparklers, so that was a lot of fun. full day of just taking care of myself, journaling, cleaning, thinking, like, you know, having my moment to just be alone. Like, I just feel like I haven't had a break. I didn't do any assignments. I was like, I'm not gonna worry about school today. Like, I just want to do my own thing, and I want to be in my own presence. I just really wanted to share that with you guys because now I'm feeling better. Obviously, I'm off my period, so now I'm not PMSing anymore, and I'm not even feeling as low as I was. And I feel like I'm slowly coming out of my depression. And again, I don't know what really triggered it. Hopefully I can figure that out in therapy. I actually have a meeting with my therapist tomorrow at 12 o'clock. She's going to call me during lunch so we can chat it up a little bit and do like a follow-up. But I just really want to challenge anyone out there. If you're going through something and you feel like just sit down and think, am I really doing everything that I can to make myself successful? Am I doing everything that I can to be the best person for myself, to be there for myself, to be there for my family, like, that I care about, to be there for my partner? Like, am I actually doing the best that I can? And even my boyfriend was telling me, like, I can tell when you're low and I can tell when you're high, and I can tell, I just known you for so long that I can tell when you're not right. And I it's true, I feel like I haven't been right. And it's not even the last 2 months, I just feel like I haven't been right in a while. Put that out there. And again, you know, 25 is that age where everybody feels like, oh, we should have a house, we should be married, we should have kids. Those things are great, but if you make it to this point like me and you don't have any of those things, and not that you wonder why, but you just appreciate it and just take that additional time to focus on yourself on top of that, and to really just understand who you are and know what you want and learn your needs and level up in every aspect, because life doesn't stop, right? The world doesn't stop for anything. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.